If you're ready to take your life to the next level in this brand new decade, let me suggest you prioritize relationships. When Jesus was asked, "What's the greatest of all the commandments?" Jesus started his answer with a relationship word: love. Love the Lord thy God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and your neighbor as yourself. Jesus essentially saying is prioritize your relationship with God and with others. And in the context of others, both your public and private relationships, prioritize them. Well, how does one do that? Let me suggest some insight from another teaching from Luke chapter 6:31, Jesus' message on the Sermon on the Mount, when Jesus says, treat others as you would like for them to treat you. Three insights here that will change how people perceive you. Number one, look for and affirm the good in others. 3 to 4 times a week, you should be looking around you. For example, I'm sure you've heard the story. A young lady comes out for a date with her boyfriend. She's dressed sharp. The first thing he says is, "Why did you pick those shoes?" He saw the good, but he articulated the negative. That's typically how we do. Look for the good around you and affirm, articulate, celebrate that. Perhaps your child is not earning the grades that you want, but they are putting in 3, 4, 5 hours a night studying. Call that out and celebrate that. Or you have a colleague that's really good with logistics in a particular project or cast vision well. Call that out and celebrate it. Look for the good and affirm it. It changes how people perceive you. And, of course, you're treating them the way you want to be treated. Secondly, ask first. Be more concerned about and more curious about the people around you than you are about talking about yourself. For example, you can ask about people's day. Where did you go? What was the highlight? You can also ask about their thoughts. Perhaps you saw something on TV or read something in a news article. What do you think about that? It's a great question to ask without getting into a debate. You honor people when you ask for their thinking. And, of course, you can inquire about their story. Our stories are always evolving. So continue to be curious and learn about people's dreams and the lessons they gain out of their failures, how they grew up, etc., etc., etc. It changes how people perceive you're caring about them and for them. And lastly, of course, put more emphasis on trying to persuade and less on trying to control. When we seek to control, we're trying to, in a sense, force an outcome, change in a behavior, etc. When we try to persuade, we're focused on the input. So, begin by saying, here's what I would like for you to do or stop doing. That's the what. Move to the why. Spend most of your time there. Here's why I would like for you to do X or stop doing X. And make sure that the why is always connected to real people and real feelings. For example, you may say, you know that thing that you do regularly? It makes me feel like $1,000,000. Would you just keep doing that? Or you might say, you know the thing that you do regularly? It makes me feel disrespected and dishonored. Would you consider stop and not do that anymore? These are 3 insights that I think will transform how people perceive you care for them and care about them. And it will put you on an awesome trajectory in a brand new decade. Listen, God bless you, and check the links to this video. There's a podcast and a message that I preached last weekend that goes into more depth. I hope you enjoy it. Go 49ers!